the show is on. Can we be backstage?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear? Can? Okay, Sabina can hear.
Okay. Because we have these pictures now.
Salah, can you please come on and change the wording for green bar? I put it in the chat window.
Okay, powering mobile.
Yeah, powering the mobile first economy. But I want Cornell to see it and approve it.
Can you all hear me?
Okay, you know what? Salah, change it back.
What, Mona? Okay, powering the mobile.
Change it to just powering the mobile economy. I Googled it and mobile first was used in 2018-19 and now they've changed it to mobile economy. So Vernell is right. So mobile economy is more current. So powering the mobile economy. We'll ask him what that means. Okay. And how Moolah Mobile does it uniquely.
I don't wanna waste your time. I wanna take you to a place of mine and maybe talk about the universe. Or maybe we can watch some television. I'm hella with it, just let me know I'm available. I know you got a schedule, probably on the grind. I just think that you incredible, baby, you know you fine. West Coast. I don't wanna waste your time. I wanna take you to a place of mine and roll another, bring some music, we can drink some wine. And when we wake up in the morning, we can press rewind and talk about it if you want to. Baby, it's all on you.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you guys back on Black is the New Green. And for those of you who don't remember who I am, shame on you, first of all. But my name is Michelle Taylor Willis, and I am your host for Black is the New Green. And we're so excited to be able to launch this series built specifically for Black founders, Black investors, in the startup and entrepreneurial spaces. And we found it fitting, actually, since Black History Month is such obviously a huge deal. We want to make sure that we're spotlighting these people who are really making waves in the startup space, especially since, we haven't really had the opportunity to make those kind of waves in the past. You're watching this actually on Radivision Live, radivision.com. And Radivision is your network as an entrepreneur. So if you're entrepreneurial, or if you're entrepreneurially minded, that's a tough word to say. If you're a founder, if you are in the startup space, an investor, whatever it may be, Radivision is the network that is built for you. So we welcome you here. We have a whole slew of programming that is built just for you. So make sure you come back and visit us at radivision.com. All right. So, having said that, I'm really excited to introduce you to our guest for today. His name is Vernell Woods, and he's the founder and CEO of Moolah Mobile, which is really built to be the leader, the trailblazer, and the first of maybe many, but maybe not. We don't want to create competition for you, right, Vernell?
No,
Uh,
no competition. Not allowed of that. We don't want extra competition.
all right. In the first mobile economy. And so I've been learning, obviously, Vernell, you and I know each other, but I've been following your company and your history and really what you're doing in this space for a long time now. But I'm really interested to learn even more today and to educate our viewers and our listeners on what Moolah Mobile is and who you are, because I think you're phenomenal and you're only like 10, right?
See, I'm 12. No, I'm just lying. But no. I just passed the 30 mark, so I'm still young in the entrepreneurial world, but I got a little bit of experience. Gray hairs
Well,
are starting to pop up.
you have please, whatever.
I got like two.
You
I got like two.
you have a lot of experience. And so I want to dive into that and talk about that. But first of all, can you let us know exactly what is Moolah Mobile and why did you create this company?
So mobile is a mobile economy that's designed for people of all walks of life, economies all around the world, where it actually brings in revenue into every single person, every customer, every user is able to earn passive income. And then it also gives them the marketplace in which where they can spend it. It gives them the way to infuse all their own products to sell as well. So we've taken this phone and created an entire real global economy inside of it. And we wanted to be able to give that to everyone. Right. So does that kind of make sense? Right. The idea is just you make money, you spend money all inside of your phone and you own the entire system.
Okay, so let's break this down a little bit because I want people to actually be able to visualize
Mhm.
what this looks like, right?
Right.
Um, okay, so I have a mobile phone, and how does Moolah Mobile show up on my phone?
Right. So the way it shows up is pretty much exactly the way your phone already looks. We take the common launchers like the Google Now launchers, and all we do is we place a small advertisement inside of it that you control. The consumer controls whether they want to see ads, whether they want a small ad, whether they want a big ad. They control all of it based on the amount of money they want to earn. And for every single ad that's shown, we split the money three ways. We get paid for every dollar we get. You're going to get 20 cents or so. And then the phone company's going to get their 20 cents or so. We're going to make it transparent. Everybody's going to see all the money that came in and went out. You're going to be able to track all your information that was being able to be shared with the advertisers. And then from there, everyone wins for the first time in this kind of advertising world. And we take in the earnings from that and just put it into your phone.
Okay, so if I hear you correctly, Moolah Mobile is an advertising company, but it's also a data collection company, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would describe it in 3 ways. Moolah
Okay.
is an advertising company, a digital wallet, and a global marketplace combined.
Got
That's
it.
all I did.
Okay.
I took think of the Amazon Kindle, right? Where Amazon redid, the Android operating system and built their books and everything like that in it, and then they made it cheaper if you watched ads on it. Imagine taking that idea and making it your entire phone, and then combining it with the Amazon marketplace.
Got it.
All
I love how you said that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
fine. No, that's it. That's it. Like, that's the easiest way to describe it. Imagine the Kindle mixed with the Amazon marketplace, and they all just work together. So instead of them reducing your Kindle bill by $20, or the price by $20, they give you your earnings of that every month.
Okay, so Moolah Mobile places ads on my cell phone.
Mhm.
I have the opportunity to leave the ad on my cell phone or get rid of it. If I
Correct.
leave the ad on my cell phone, Moolah Mobile says, hey, I'm going to compensate you for just leaving this ad. Just leave it there. I'm going to give
Correct.
you a percentage of what the advertiser is going to pay me for you to keep this on your phone. And
Correct.
then as Moolah Mobile, I'm going to deposit this money into an account for you that you can then use in a global Amazon like marketplace, and you can go and shop and use these funds that Moolah Mobile has provided you for leaving the ad on your phone in at these stores and at these businesses in the marketplace. Is that right?
You got
So I would never delete an ad.
it. That's what happens, right? So believe it or not, right? So we wanted to we tested it out. We first went to 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. By the time we got to 60,000, we're like, why are these people just leaving their phones on? Like, they're using their phones more. We're going to our phone partners and we're like, hey, they switched from Cricket to Metro to Boost, but they took Moolah with them and they keep using their phone more. And everybody's like, hey, what's this Moolah thing? Why are our customers using their phones differently? But that's why they're earning passive income.
Okay, gosh. All right. So I hope if you guys are, well, I know you guys are listening and watching out there. If you've got questions, we are going to have a Q&A at the end of this. So I've got tons of questions. Like, I'm so off my question list right now. Because, so please put your questions in the chat and we will definitely get to them at the end of the broadcast. But okay, so let's talk about how much. Like, am I making millions of dollars by leaving this on my
No, we're
phone?
not trying to make you have an extra tax burden, right? So I don't know if y'all
Okay.
are familiar with like Square and all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that come into play when you're moving money like this. But we want to be very realistic. Right now, as we're starting, the average user is making around like $10, $10 to $15 in their first month. The users that want to make, they normally cut on screen ads and then they play the little games. And we've got different ways for you to make additional revenue, but that's what they do when they want to get above $20 to $25. Over time, we see that $10 to $15 mark growing to around $20 to $25 over time. So, come with us, right? I know everybody's been going through some growing pains of the startup world, but we're really, really attacking a market that hasn't been attacked in this way, and trying to do so to help our people.
And I'm glad you said that, because you said a market that hasn't been attacked and our people. So let me zoom in on that for a second. Your Moolah Mobile is really targeting the underprivileged and underserved communities, right?
Correct. I mean,
Okay.
that's where it started, right? So for us, we just understood in our community, right, and the places where I come from, right, I'm from Virginia. There were a lot of people that just simply needed a little bit more. They were working they're working their 9 to 5. These aren't the people that are just kind of like squandering their time. These are people that are sometimes just needing a little bit more, right, to reduce that phone bill, reduce that, let's handle a couple meals for you, right, a week. Maybe that's just reduce your internet bill, whatever that is. And in touching these people over the last 10 to 15 years, we begin to really understand the needs and understanding, hey, you know what? Some of these people don't have bank accounts, right? They're really unbanked. They don't have debit cards to be able to go and spend money the way they need. They're not able to send money back and forth to their friends. And on top of that, they're spending an overabundance of time on their device, right? So there's so much time being spent on this mobile phone, right? And it's being spent on social media and games and stuff like that. But it would be amazing if we can just monetize that and then connect that to that debit card or that banking account that was already enabled for them by having this device, and then allowing them to just grow consistently from it and learn good habits and good usage trends and everything like that, right? That's connected with earning more. I think that really, really will help our community over time.
Got it. And I love it. You said the unbanked, which is a term that we don't hear a lot.
Right.
But you're right. I mean, there is a segment of the population where we use the phones a lot. But what I love is that, I mean, as I'm listening to you talk, it's almost like I feel this community has been taken advantage of. And of course, we know these communities get taken advantage of. But what I mean specifically in this mobile space, and when it comes to advertising, because it's like, all of this information gets filtered to them and they have to contend with it, right? You got to watch these ads. You got to do this. You got to do that. And nobody's ever said, listen, I'm going to expose this and I'm going to give you the choice to watch them, but I'm going to pay you for it, right? It's like, now I'm going to make sure that you get your fair due in doing what I ask you or what I want you to do.
Well, Michelle, just to be kind of frank and direct, we don't think that the way that the current advertising market and the way it works is okay. It's wrong, right? There's so many lawsuits going between company to company to company about privacy, about location tracking, about understanding what information can and cannot be sold to advertisers, right? About understanding what is and what isn't fair. And for us, we've just put our stake in the ground and we know what fair is. And if everybody else has a gray line, they can have that gray line. But for us, what fair is being transparent, it's being honest, right, with exactly what information is going, with who's involved with it, how much we're making, and also the revenue, like allowing all the people that are contributing to the earnings to reap the rewards, especially when those people are come from communities that look like mine, and they're using their mobile phones and social networks in a way that's far exceeding other counterparts. We need to be able to monetize this and be able to put some money back into their pocket from the trillions of dollars that's being generated from them using their phones.
And it's funny too, because this segment, again, it's kind of like the exposition, another exposition of what's been happening. And these people are underserved, underprivileged, and unbanked. So why are people unbanked? And then tell us what your definition of unbanked is, and how do we get them banked?
Well, so unbanked, when we're talking about unbanked, we're talking about they don't have their traditional Bank of America. They don't have a traditional bank of account where they're storing money. Money is actually going in to be used at a later time, right? And so it's just under the mattress, right? Right? Or putting it wherever you kind of can. And so for us, the easiest solution to this is to put those resources in the thing that everyone already has, right? It doesn't matter whether you're wealthy or the poorest. Our government has made it so that with even the Lifeline program that they used to call Obama phones, everyone can get a phone. It is an essential service like water and everything else. Our government is now mandating it so that telcos are able to provide people with devices. So simply, when you go and get that device, your wallet, your bank, everything should already be inside of it. It just makes more sense.
Absolutely. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. I think this is amazing. And let's be the elephant in the room, right? When we say unbanked, when we say underprivileged, when we say underserved, I mean, 9 out of 10 times we're talking about the Black community, right? It, Or black and brown.
Believe it or not, it's not actually just the Black community, right?
Okay.
Like, I know for us, and I actually learned this with working with quite a few different telcos. There's rural communities, right? There's
Hmm.
communities of every color that is being impacted and touched by not being able to have the amount of revenue that they need and needing to be able to have some additional revenue on their device, right? So
Great
it's touching
point.
everybody. Yes, my intent when I created this was targeted around the companies that were coming to me. And the companies that were coming to me were servicing mostly Black and brown communities. But since then, we've grown to understand that it's touching a lot more people. And now that we've started gaining customers, we've learned that it's not only the poor people that are like, hey, you know what? My phone's not giving me any money. And yeah, I may not be the poorest of the poor, but I would still love, my phone to be free as well, right? I still love to discount my phone bill by $25, $30, right? We all know how to be frugal and save money. And, it's how much is your phone paying you this month, right? And if it's not paying you anything, then you understand why you need moolah.
Right. Well, let's dive into that though real quick too. And then I want to shift gears and talk a little bit more about you and what you got going on. But Android only, right?
Android only. Apple is very, very strict on controlling their own pot of money, right? Let's just be pretty frank, right? Apple has their own ways of doing advertising. Apple, when you buy an Apple phone, they're gonna include the Apple Wallet by default. They're going to include, right, your music. They're gonna include all these things that are needed. But you got to be able to afford a $1,500 to $2,000 device and be able to go and get a credit check from AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile, pass that credit check for you to be able to get that phone. Globally, that's not realistic. That's why over 70% of the world is on Android. So we understand the iPhone market, right? We get it, right? We get it. But for us, we understand that when you're being smart with your money, you want the iPhone. I've got an iPhone, right? I've got my Apple Watch. I've got it. But at the same time, I also have my Android, right? The Android allows me to do a lot more things that Apple doesn't, and allows me, in essence, to create things like this.
Listen, congratulations on knowing your market and your target and going after. I mean, you just totally made that make sense, because I'm thinking like, why not iPhone? But like, that's not your target user, right? And so it totally makes sense. And speaking of targeting, one of the things that I learned about you, which I think is amazing, is that your company, well, so first of all, tech has been your thing. I mean, you worked in technology for Grand Hustle, Grand Hustle, Tip Harris. I think everybody knows a little rapper.
Little rapper,
right? And then on Governor Perdue's campaign as a technology officer, you've worked, and you're just over, I mean, I can't believe it. Even at 30, you have worked in technology for some of the most known names. I mean, Senator Perdue now, right?
Right.
And so you were able to quickly assimilate and accelerate into this market. How were you able to do that? And then I want you to talk to us about the patent that you own, your company owns, on geo-targeting, geofencing. Right.
Yeah, so being honest, so when I came to Georgia Tech, I came from Virginia. It was from Suffolk, Virginia. And I actually got committed to Cornell. And when I was going to Georgia Tech, I was really blessed to receive a President's Scholarship there. So it kind of made school a bit affordable. But then Georgia Tech did something pretty unique. They created this almost, I would say, bubble around me, right? And there was some really amazing people there. It was like Dr. May, right? Etta Pittman, right? Steve McLaughlin, right? There's a large group of people that were the leaders of Georgia Tech that were like, hey, there's this unique Black kid who's kind of not really following the rules and wants to hack everything. How do we make it so that he actually can excel and have the opportunities to do what he wants to do? And so at that time, there wasn't a lot of venture capital that was especially aimed for a 19-year-old kid in Atlanta, that just wasn't there, right, 10, 15 years ago. And so we were really figuring out how to innovate, how to build businesses, and how to create without that support system that's there now. And so when we were doing that, excuse me.
God bless you.
Thank you. One of the first people that brought me in was Ti, right? So that was one of the. I was like,
Wow.
I don't know how to. I was like, I don't know how to maneuver Atlanta. I don't know how to maneuver all of these different resources, but I have really, really crazy ideas, and I think I can build something. And back then, right, I was 19. Don't judge me, right? I wanted to know where the girls were, where the guys were. That's what I cared about, right?
Where's
But
the club scene, Ti? And you know what? I'll build a network for you.
there you go. Exactly. You get it. You get it. And so when we did that, it was really about understanding technology, understanding what it was like to build a company, grow, scale it, what it was like to grow with a celebrity. I've learned so much about, right? And so we grew the company. It scaled way too fast. We learned a lot, gained 1 million customers. It just ballooned, right? And the business wasn't set up correctly, but we learned so much at that 19, 20-year-old stage. That just taught us how to do what we're doing now. And then for us, right, that Georgia Tech community, when they saw me go with Ti and everybody else, they were like, okay, we need to figure out how to make sure this entire world stays safe. So they created a legal group around me, right, which John Lanza did up in Boston, and they filed patents around everything I was creating. And we were actually issued the patent for comparative geofencing. That basically means that any in a device and you're tracking one device from another device or trying to report how many devices are in an area or anything like that, you're infringing. And so we've been cited by Comcast, Google, like pretty much everybody you can imagine. So now we've integrated that technology into Moolah, gone and added some more patents that kind of protect our business model and kind of what we want to do in the next 5 to 10 years, and now giving it to the people.
Listen, I had a wise billionaire once tell me, you really haven't made it unless you've been sued. And so,
Right?
so you're being cited. I mean, that's when you know. That's hilarious. But good for you and being able to do this stuff so young. So listen, I got to wrap this because I want to make sure that we have some time to get to the question and answer portion of this. But in terms of the space, the startup space, the founder space for Black males, Black females, have you felt welcome in this space? And what's your advice for people in your position that may be older than you that want a start in that space?
My first advice is if you're looking to feel welcome, you're in the wrong place. Right? That's just right now. This is one of those things where Atlanta has a bigger support group now. There's communities that are around to help you, to make sure that you're not alone. But if you're not mentally prepared to be alone and prepared for that fight that comes with being a Black entrepreneur, that requires grinding when there isn't anything left, and pushing through it, and even explaining things, right, to certain investors and people that may not look like you, that may not sound like you, and you may have to go through a different process. That's just what right now, at least in my experience, that's what it's been like. And I think we've seen so much progress. And I'm really excited to see what the continued progress over the next 3 to 5 years is looking like. Is really starting to feel like Atlanta is becoming a mecca, like a hub for Black entrepreneurship. So the one thing I do say is, if you are trying to be an entrepreneur, Atlanta has money. Atlanta has resources. Atlanta has the things that when I did this and I started, right, when I was working for everybody, being their tech guy, I didn't have these choices, so use it. And I guess that's what I say on that.
And speaking of resources, you're in a cap raise right now. You're fundraising. What's your goal?
Well, right now, we're raising fast, right? we're raising fast, right? Our valuation's scaling really quickly, simply because we're onboarding more telco partners than we can handle, right? So right now, instead of going directly to customers and users, we're going to the companies and the master agents that are in the Obama phone industry, the master agents in Boost Mobile, Metro PCS, the people that are owning the store. So when you buy a device, it already comes with Moolah on it. And we're growing so quickly that we need more advertisers. We need more everybody. So right now we're doing a raise right now that we're looking to wrap up within the next 60 days. Finishing our 2.5 million right now. And so if you guys want to know more about that, message me, right? And we definitely can connect you to our finance team to get more information on that. But more importantly, if you guys are also advertising, we are the most effective advertising platform that you could ever use because we're people on the front of people's phones.
I love it. And I'm going to go into a question that we've got now, and I want to circle back so people know exactly how they get to you if they want to invest. And I know we're going to have a profile page up for you on radavision.com so people be able to get directly to your site and get to you. We want to make sure that we're supporting our founders and our entrepreneurs in that way to help people give you some money and put some money in your pocket. So you're welcome early.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. You can come back later, though. She's gonna be like, Renell, I need a favor. But I love it.
All right. So listen, this question comes from Mayi Eldefrawi. And please pardon me if I pronounce your name incorrectly. How many are unbanked in the US and the rest of the world, if you have those numbers?
I know in the United States, that number is around 5%. Around in I guess 2019, it was around 5%. Globally, it's quite a bit higher, right? Right in Africa, the Middle East, that number is quite a bit higher. And in places like Nigeria, right? We're in the middle of talking to some people out there, South America, South Africa, right? France. A lot of these different places are creating laws that allow their telcos to solve the unbanked problem. So they're allowing their telcos to become money transmitters. So that's something, for that question, look up how telcos are able to become money transmitters to solve that very question in other places around the world. And you'll kind of understand the magnitude of the problem we're talking about.
Yeah, because it makes sense, right? I mean, if you look at, Venmo, Cash App, all of these different all of these different ways now that money can exchange hands. It seems like, to your point, you said it makes sense. It makes sense. You should be able to do this from your phone now. And we know the traditional bank is not so traditional anymore. These neobanks, the virtual banks, it is what it is, right? Our next question comes from Salah. Thank you so much for your question, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Our next question comes from Salah Kasim. Realistically, how much can you make from a single device in a specific time period? I know you hit on that a little bit earlier. You want to dive a little bit deeper into that?
Yes. So thank you for the question. So in 1 month, right, you're just looking at display ads, you're going to make around $10 to $15. It depends on your usage, right? And this is all based on whether you're using your phone 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 5 hours a day, whatever, the numbers range. On average, our users are using their phone, their home screen about 3.5, 4 hours a day. And so that's where our numbers are coming from. If you would like to make more, we offer the ability to take surveys, do incentivized installs and stuff like that. So some of our partners want you to try apps, and if you try it out, we automatically give you a little bit more, or take surveys and stuff like that. And so we give you ways to make more. And our objective by Q3 is to make it so that every user is making at least $20 to $25.
Wow, which is great. That's awesome. And a comment came in too that we can, hit on that point, especially since a family of 5 might have a phone each, and $25 per phone can easily be $100 off the family bill. I mean,
so that is our idea. And so what we're doing is we're actually trying to go to the phone companies for you and make it so they automatically reduce that bill for you, right? Because we want to make sure that it's more affordable, right? We know everybody, your 8-year-old wants a phone now, right? And so if it's getting that young and you've got this many devices that are being used, you want the information to flow. You want them to have a device because they're learning faster, but you don't want to pay for it. And so this is a way to make it more economical for everybody.
And we've got another question. Thank you for your question, Salah. How would you tackle something like device farms in China? This actually comes from us.
Yes, so that is something that we actually already dealt with, right? And so what we're able to see is if the device is moving We have really good security measures in place to detect real-time usage to make sure that advertisers are getting quality users and real-time uh, activity with customers that are actually engaging with their phone the proper way. We've seen this a little bit, right? I want to be very direct and transparent. We have seen this, and we have put in multiple measures to be able to slow that down and limit its impact on our advertisers.
And for those of us who don't know, can you tell us really quickly, maybe in 30 seconds, what a device farm in China is?
So basically, if they know that we're able to make money by running ads 24/7, they're going to set up a million devices and just let them run. And
Mm,
just show ads nonstop, whether it's real users or not.
got it. Almost kind of like bots on Instagram or something,
Just like
right?
bots on Instagram. Just like bots on Instagram. But there's a lot of security measures that you can put in place, even using some kind of the location-based technology and stuff like that. Because if a phone is sitting still, right, for a month, we know, right,
Right.
how it's kind of being used, right? And so we're able to at least put in measures to check that, right? Because it may still be a real user, but we're able to start checking and kind of detecting how an active user and a real user is actually using their device, if that makes sense. Which is why a
That's
lot of
cool.
our advertisers like us, right? The advertisers like Moolah because we simply can see more than an app, right? Like it doesn't matter what you are. If you're an app, you can't see all these components that a home screen, a launcher, or an operating system would be able to see.
Right. Um, all right, we've got how much does it cost to advertise on your platform?
Our packages start at $500. So we're trying to make it so that everybody can come in, and we've created some pretty good packages that make it pretty simple to understand how we're doing that marketing and advertising for you. Where we've got simple display, give you a certain number of display ads, certain number of interstitials, and also we even do pre-installs. So if you have an app and you want to guarantee a certain number of customers and lower your acquisition rate, we have the ability to place your app on every single phone the way
Mm,
Apple places Apple Music on every iPhone.
oof, starting at $500. I like that.
Sorry,
That's
five
good,
hundred
right? So $500. All right, and another question that we had come in. Thank you for your question. What does the wallet support in terms of currency? Have you thought
Oh,
about brand loyalty programs, and how about crypto?
so that's coming, right? So right now we are actually classified as a mobile rewards point system. So we're not actually labeled as a cryptocurrency. However, our marketplaces that come out this summer, and we've got some exciting ones to talk about that are going to be coming up soon. But all of these marketplaces all come with the ability to accept Ethereum, Bitcoin,
Wow.
pretty much all the traditional um, cryptocurrency. So you'll be able to take your moolah, combine it with your crypto, and use it together in all the marketplaces. You can simply make your is and you can scale really quickly. You can buy what you want, no real rules, and it's all from your built-in wallet.
Hence the term Moolah Mobile.
Moolah Mobile, you get it.
All right, and we've got time for one more question here, and we'll wrap up. This question comes from Tatiana Ramirez. This is amazing. I'm curious to know about how this works on the advertiser side, and does this program track metrics like CTR?
Yes, yes. So we've built a system that is identical, pretty well not identical, but we're trying to make it very similar to most of the ad networks that you have. So when you come in, you will be able to see every single impression that's gone on every single device. You're able to check your return at all times, so you'll always be able to see exactly how many clicks there's been, how many impressions have been shown, how many full screen interstitials there's been, how many banner ads, how many pre-installs. You'll be able to see this in real time. Every single one of our advertisers and phone partners are both given this data, and our users are actually shown the data inside of their wallet as well to make sure that everyone is always able to see everything going on. Integrity isn't something that we take lightly.
Data collection.
Security, we can do better. We can do better than what Facebook and Google has been doing. We can do better.
Oof, he put it out there, guys. All right. So I got to wrap up. Vernell, thank you so much. I thought I knew a lot, but I learned so much more just talking to you today. Thank you so much for your time. Again, if someone wants to invest, if they want to join your team, advertise, how do people get in touch with you and or Moolah Mobile?
Yeah, so just go to the Moolah website. That's moolahmobile.com. If you'd like to actually reach out to us, right, you can go to info@moolahmobile.com. That's managed by our admin team. And any emails and anything that you have, it'll be directed to the right person. And from there, I'm sure also on the website at Radvision, we're gonna, they're
Look
gonna
at you promoting us our stuff already.
we know how to work, Michelle. Listen, we know how to work. We've been doing this before, okay? We've done this before, right? So, but yeah, so you can go to all of those places, and all of them will point you to me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Best of luck to you. I'm happy to be on this journey with you, and I can't wait to see where we end up. Do you hear that?
Right?
Where
Yeah, I
we
heard
end
it.
up.
I heard it. I heard it. Well, listen, I'm so happy that you invited me and to have me on with you and taking some time with me. So I really appreciate it, and I'm really excited to see what we, can get done.
Absolutely. Thank you. And to all of you guys watching, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Black is the New Green with me, Michelle Taylor Willis. I can be found on just about everything at Michelle Taylor Willis. And if you are an entrepreneur, then you need to be at radivision.com. Always. We've got tons of programming lined up for you. And then maybe your profile can be on your like Vernell's can. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you next time.
Thanks a lot.